About 2 weeks after her disappearance, the Columbia Police Department publicly stated they were opening up a criminal investigation on her disappearance. So while there was no concrete evidence that Joe Elledge had done anything to his wife at this point, those recordings were more than enough for police to consider him their prime suspect. And that same day, October 25th, 2019, police came knocking on Joe Elledge's door with a warrant, but not for Munkshi's death. This was on completely different charges. It was for child abuse. An anonymous source had called the police to say Munkshi had confided in her before her death that Joe had hit 1-year-old Anna so hard, spanked her, he had left a bruise on her bottom, and a statement that was actually validated when detectives found pictures of that bruise on Munkshi's iPad. So while Joe argued he was playing and maybe pinched her a little too hard, investigators knew a pinch doesn't make that large of a bruise, and it rarely turns purple, blue, and yellow like the one in the photo. So Joe was brought down to the station and charged with a felony for child abuse. His bond was set at $500,000. This is a price officers knew Joe couldn't afford, except this is obviously all part of their plan. With Joe behind bars, they are one step closer to nabbing him for Munkshi's disappearance. But that wasn't all the detectives accomplished that afternoon. See, they didn't just show up at the house with just an arrest warrant for Joe, they also showed up with a search warrant for the property. So while he's in jail, they are searching his property. They find some pretty interesting stuff, like Munkshi's passport, all of her luggage. This is a very clear indicator that Munkshi had not fled the country to be with someone else, as Joe had initially theorized to police. But there was also a backpack full of notes belonging to Joe. One with the heading, "What to tell the police." There was another note in this backpack that seemed like a reminder he had written to himself to, quote, "Speak to Munkshi in the present tense instead of past."
But yeah, I guess she was just always kind of a reserved person. And
wow.